was popping, y'all. And the gift that keeps on giving with Thugmas, he had to get the whole family involved, or they decided to get involved. It seemed like Young Thug, he tagged out. It's a tag team match. Really, it's more like a, you know how they say 20v1? It's like a 2v20 right now. It was a 1v20 first. Young Thug, he tapped out, and he sent his sister in, his sister Dolly, which is not to be confused with his sister Dora. His sister Dora was more involved with some of the music stuff. I wouldn't necessarily say management early on in his career, but his sister Dolly decided to make some comments. So I'm going to play you guys that clip right now.
Don't be on the internet acting like my brother just a and y'all know my brother ain't dead. On the internet acting like y'all just my brother. You know for a fact y'all doing it because he can't come back to Atlanta.
I didn't think about it.
Yeah. He's gonna do this. He's gonna click up. He's gonna do all this because they know he can't come back to Atlanta. That's the only thing it is, he can't come back here. All that spit. Spit on who? Man, we gonna lay right back to A. Now we been putting belt. That's why everybody clicked up. That, yeah. No, you know the block. They said when Jeff got out, he went and did an interview. His first interview was with white people and not a black person. Yeah, so all the black, they mad because when he got out, he did an interview with a white person instead of his black community. All that 20,000, 30,000, baby. My brother want $1 million a building. Bye.
So here you have, it's like, what do you mean by that? We've been putting belt to eye all over Atlanta. Oh, what do you mean by that? Fonnie Willis, I can tell she's got her feet kicked up, especially after like the spanking that Trump gave her. You know she's got vengeance in her heart out for anybody that thinks that she feels played her in the public eye, because she's withdrawn to her cave like Batman, and she's out there trying to wreak havoc. There's no way it was just Gunna that's getting, because there's no way they have these leaks. That's the thing. Somebody also said that they're like, well, I'm getting into the leaks, which is not what we're talking about here. One of the references that she is making is to Rollo, because she said, oh, they said they would spit in this person's face. Now, you guys know my take on spitting. Spitting deserves a death penalty, death sentence. So if anybody spit in Young Thug's face and he laid him out flat, I'm co-signing it. Really, anybody in any scenario ever, the person that hawks that loogie, they get sent straight up to God. That's it. And hopefully they get sent to hell, because it's worse than shooting at somebody. So she's talking about Rollo. But my question is oh, people are so scared because Thug can't come to Atlanta. Well, what would Thug do if he could come to Atlanta? Huh? Really, if we're being honest, Thug never did anything to anybody himself. That's what they were saying. They're like, yo, Thug didn't do any crimes. He didn't do any shootings. YFN Lucci was actually out there in these streets. He was in a Rolls Royce Cullinan? Nah, I think it was a G-Wagon, pulling up to different hoods and doing shootouts, drive-bys. YFN Lucci. Young Thug was not doing that. That's not to say that Young Thug is soft, Young Thug is whatever. But what she's saying is that if Thug was in Atlanta, he would be sending people to do stuff for him? Wow. Crazy. And that's the reason why I'm saying this, is because if he is trying to send people to do stuff for him, they could just do it without him being in Atlanta. It doesn't matter if he's there or not. These gang wars were going on while Young Thug was on tour. So the fact that he can't come to Atlanta is cap. And it would make more sense if Rollo was not in Atlanta. Rollo is all over Atlanta. That guy's been in Atlanta. He's been really that guy when it comes to like getting money, moving around, since before Young Thug was popping. And he's actually doing positive stuff. Like when you look at Rollo, like you just scroll through Rollo's IG, I don't know if he's doing anything shiesty, to be honest. But from what Rollo's been talking about the past couple of weeks, he's just focused on helping the community and building up his wealth. Like, yo, they took a lot from Rollo. That dude sat there for 7 years. And the one thing that Young Thug's sister, when she got tapped in, she was like, yo, they wouldn't be saying this about Thug if he were in Atlanta. Well, how about you say something to us? Was Young Thug telling in that interrogation tape? How about you give us your opinion on that? Because we don't care about all that other stuff, to be frank with you. But here she is, just ruining things even more. And you know the DA paying attention to all of this. They're like, oh, okay, so she's saying that they've been doing this? Okay, so what have they been doing? So are those shooters out? And this is the thing that is so sad. After they saw everything that happened with the YSL case, if there are people, and I know there are people, of course, there are people still in these streets thinking, yo, not only are we going to get away with this crime, but people are going to stay solid, you must be out of your mind. The amount of telling that we saw in that YSL case is unprecedented. It's almost like telling isn't even a thing if everybody's doing it, right? That gives, for example, I'm not able to think of an example. We're not even going to bother with that. It's not that important of a point. So if you saw the YSL case and you're still out there thinking, oh, we're going to run it up for Thug, well, what's going on? And him not being in Atlanta doesn't change anything. And then QC CEO P, he's had a back and forth, which I haven't even gotten to doing a video on that yet. But that guy not runs Atlanta, but when it comes to music and culture in Atlanta, that guy has put on and signed some of the biggest acts. This is also why Yachty seems to be definitely quiet about this situation. Baby and P, I don't know what their situation is. Like, there's no way that he chooses Thug. No way it would be a smart decision for him to choose Thug over P. But here, Young Thug's sister is just, you could tell they are brother and sister because she's talking the same way that he's talking. Just like a moron, putting him in harm's way with her statements. And this is the thing, too. If something comes out of it, she's not going to get harmed. She's not the one that's going to get shot at. She's not the one that had to go to jail. She's not the one that got locked up. So she's the one that's doing all this talking. Meanwhile, your brother was gone for years because of his own actions, of course. And then you're co-signing those actions, which goes to show I genuinely believe Young Thug and this woman as well, she didn't learn anything. Young Thug did not learn a single thing while he was locked up. I think he came out more bitter, more angry, and more willing to take vengeance after he got locked up than before. And he's still sitting on, 15-plus year probation? And this is what I think is bait. I think the bait that Fonnie Willis or whoever, it has to be somebody in the state that's putting this stuff out. I think they're baiting Young Thug into crashing out, doing something that is going to break the agreement that he put on for his parole. And then they can put him back in jail for a long time because that's their aim. They want Thug locked up. And as much as I've said about Thug, to be honest, I don't want the guy locked up, or I don't want him to go. For example, if he got found guilty, yeah, lock him up. If he did all that, which, let's be honest, we know he did all that. But the fact that he's on probation, I don't want him to violate his probation. I don't wish harm for him. People think like, yo, you're hating on Young Thug. Dog, Young Thug got 10 years of glazing. All that glazing that y'all did for 10 years is what got him thinking like this and what got him talking like this. So really, he hasn't even had 10 days of hate. So 10 years versus 10 days, that just goes to show you, like, people focus way more on the negativity than the positivity. People were calling him Bob Marley and Michael Jackson and whatever else. No wonder he thought he was the head honcho. You are not that. So it's definitely hot out here in these Atlanta streets right now, and we're going to have to just sit around and see what happens. Hopefully he taps her on the shoulder and tells her to shut up and stop talking. Frankly, the only thing that we want to hear from her is what she thinks about that interrogation tape. Is that too much talking or not enough talking? And Pee Wee Roscoe, I might do a video like just putting everything together. Pee Wee Roscoe even not threw Thug under the bus, but just by yapping, and when he tried to save him, he made it evident that, yeah, Thug did a lot of talking. Like, Thug broke the rule. If Roscoe says, I wouldn't have done what Thug did, that means what Thug did was telling. So thanks a lot for that. But that's a little bit of detail. I may cover that, I may not. Who knows? But let me know what y'all think in the comments. Like and subscribe and hit the notification bell if you enjoyed. And I'm going to see y'all on the next one.